All right, I have a blue check mark and we are
Hey.
live. Yay.
Let
That
me.
was quick. That was really quick. Hello, everybody. We probably will have a few new faces today here, hopefully.
Why is that? Whose faces are new?
I don't know, like from the from my
from your okay, because
yeah,
we're streaming to your Twitter.
my Twitter as well.
Set up to stream live now. Sketches. Do you know, I always get this pop-up on YouTube Studio whenever I click to sort of go live. It asks me, do I want to go live now or do I want to stream later on? I don't want to do either of those things because we're already live.
Yeah.
I have no idea why. It's just every single time. I can't just close it and say, no, I don't want to do any of those things. Just bugger off. Bugger off. Streaming software. And then it opens up a new stream if I do that. No, go back. Anyway.
Let's wait for the audience a little bit to join. I see 7 viewers. So guys, just
Hello.
let me know where you're joining us from. We're taking like a little moment until more people will join. Yeah. We're going to talk about a few interesting things.
Join us on YouTube if you so desire to join in the chat, because we don't monitor the chat on Twitter. Come to Cmd+AI YouTube. Okay. We have got. Let me run through the headlines, because we weren't here last week, so now we're playing catch up on a few little bits and bobs. Nothing too crazy. You've probably seen in the title, xAI exposing 370,000 private grok chats. Crazy. Nano Banana, which is not actually, you better say it. You say Nano Banana.
Nano Banana. Yeah, I will.
Doesn't work for me.
I genuinely thought that's the official name. But we'll talk about that.
Yeah, it was the secret code name of it whilst they were testing it on LM Arena. But officially, 2.5 flash image or whatever. It's just, we'll go over that.
I think we should go with like our typical intro or something similar to it.
Oh yeah, we haven't thought about that. Yeah, let's do it.
So I'm going to add this to our Notion, and I'll go with the we got it already. Yeah.
Oh, it's just updated.
Here.
There we go. Is AI in a bubble? GPT-realtime. $100 million framer investment and then producing an AI video from it. Claude in Chrome.
Yeah.
And then we'll see how much time we've got, because we've got tons to go through. I mean, just to let you know, Claude in Chrome, YouTube AI, YouTube using AI to secretly alter created videos, Grok 2.5 open source, Apple and talks with Google to power Siri, ChatGPT used for Google search, and Ecosia proposed a stewardship of Chrome. But
I've added them.
Promises. Sorry?
They are added.
I don't know what you're mentioning.
In Notion. If you check Notion.
Yeah, I don't know what you're saying. What are you telling me? Yes, it's in Notion. Yeah, these things are in Notion.
No, like if you read like the beginning of the document.
Okay, fine. So with that, should we do the official intro? I think we've given people enough time to join. 26 people. Very good. Join us over on YouTube if you want to chat. Otherwise, chill out. Listen to us on your Twitter. Should we do the intro?
Yeah.
I'm going to try and do it without reading it. Welcome to Command AI, where we press Command F on the internet's AI news and still somehow can't find our sanity. My name is Samuel Gregory.
And I'm Kabarza, and we are here to decode the weekly chaos in AI, web design, and development. This week we have our nightmares coming true, xAI exposing private chats, Nano Banana by Google, we have AI bubble might be real, and Framer raising 100 millions in investment, and a lot more in this week's episode.
If we have time.
A lot more if we have time.
We've got 2 weeks to catch up. So if you not around last week, we didn't go live last week. We both had other commitments, but in the meantime, AI news has just been piling up, baby. But let's jump right into I'll share my screen just to give you something to look at. But I don't know, I feel like this did not get enough eyeballs on this. This is basically, well, I don't know, do you want to take this away, Kabaza?
Yeah, so even if you have nothing to hide, I almost spilled my drink. I shouldn't get so excited about this news. Sorry. Even if you have nothing to hide, even if you are willing to show your DMs to your spouse or like your WhatsApp chats or whatever, you still don't want to share your chat GPT and AI chat dark secrets with anyone, let alone with the public. And xAI just did that. They just allowed a bunch of private chat to be released to the public, to be search engine indexable, meaning that people could search it and would find these private chats, which is a true nightmare coming true. Do you want to take it from here and
just to lay down the kind of technical aspects of it? Basically, you're chatting with Grok, you come up with something. I think all of the AI tools have this feature actually, where you can actually share your conversation with someone else, right? Yes. Unbeknownst to those people who are sharing their conversations, by clicking that share button, it's making it public, which I think it's the only way this feature can work is by making it public, but it was also allowing it to be indexed. It probably didn't have like a no index or something like that, which, by the way, Google can choose or not choose to honor. It can see a no index and still index it, but it's, out of the goodness gracious of their heart that they would not index it. And these were conversations that include manufacturing of illicit drugs like fentanyl and methamphetamine, constructing a bomb. What are you guys chatting about? God. And a word I'm not going to say just because I know it gets a bit, it gets flagged on YouTube here. Maybe you can see that. But, But amongst all this, probably private chats, probably things that people were talking about that effectively you wouldn't want to be indexed. So that being the sort of how you say the kind of technical aspects. The thing here is, like, for me personally, like, if you think back to Cambridge Analytica and the kind of dawn of social media, I have a video coming out which talks about what people are afraid of AI. And a lot of them talk about the security aspect, and I know this is not directly related to the overall security of AI. This seems to be some sort of miscommunication to the user that it would be indexable by AI, by Google. It could be a coding kerfuffle where they forgot to add that no index command or whatever it is, however this thing got leaked. It just shows that inevitably we expect more from these huge companies. We expect them to do better. And between you and me, I don't expect xAI to do better because it's owned by Twitter and Elon Musk, and Twitter is an absolute shit show right now in terms of how good it is as a product. It bugs out all the time. So I don't expect that much from Elon, to be honest. But broadly, we do expect more from these tech companies. We do expect them to have that extra layer of due diligence when it comes to security. But clearly we're not getting that, and clearly there needs to be some sort of legislation, some sort of, you know,
Yes.
things in place to make sure that they are just even checks, you know, which I think, I haven't looked into this, but I think the GDPR are treading around this very carefully, and I think they might be a leader in this sort of thing. But again, it brings trust into question.
Exactly. It's been on people's mind for sure, because I've seen it as a meme, and I'm sure a lot of people have seen it, the videos where people are asked to share their ChatGPT secrets with, or like chats with their closed ones, and they just throw out their phones out of the window.
Oh, look, you maybe can't see it. Like, maybe it's blocked.
Really? Oh, interesting. It's like,
oh no, it's all good. There it is.
Okay. By the way, if you
WhatsApp, can I check your Instagram? Can I check your ChatGPT? No way.
No way.
Yeah.
By the way, just this is like a geeky thing. If you share your screen with somebody and you can't, you know, share the video because it blacks it out, you can bypass it by turning off hardware acceleration in your Chrome.
There you go. What a loser. He doesn't, he just throws the case out there.
He doesn't have the balls to throw.
He doesn't have the balls. Come on now, man. You know, still a lot of people don't put their phones underwater still, because they don't trust that it's actually waterproof. And it's like, come on, it's waterproof.
When I shower. Yes, when I tell people that I wash my phone like 3 times a week, they look at me like I'm messing with them, that I'm like making a joke. I'm like, no, I'm serious. I put soap on it. Like,
I'll
literally.
take a shower with it. We sing songs
I have one
together.
of those sticky magnets, like on my, like I go in a shower with a podcast. I never listen to music in the shower, but with a podcast, mostly AI. I should get a life.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, you got to be what do you call it? Efficient. You know, we're all busy people. We've got to get it in. I listen to this stuff when I'm trying to sleep to try and cram it all in there.
Yeah.
You know,
that's how I learn. I sleep on my books. Like, I put them under my pillow and
try and learn them through osmosis.
Yes, it works every time.
Yeah. Anyway, back to privacy and AI. Like, we are at the cutting edge of these are the cutting edge technologies, and they're letting us down. And people are having who was it? Did Sam Altman even talk about, like, saying to people not to have private conversations with AI? Wasn't that something that happened this week? I don't know.
I'm not sure, but honestly, I have a tons of private conversations with AI and a tons of screenshotting and sharing, like words that I don't understand. There are like, obviously it's not my native language, English and German, and I just screenshot things in the context if I can't copy it, because sometimes you can't copy it out of a video or something, and I just paste them in. And for those 2 types, I use temporary chat.
Yeah.
And
I sometimes utilize that, but sometimes I just completely forget. And, you know, at the end of the day, if you look into the T's and C's of a lot of these companies, they do talk about not training on your data, right? They do talk about not storing your data. And in fact, OpenAI were transparent about the fact that the New York Times were forcing them to keep data because of an ongoing trial, which was against their terms of use. And this was a few weeks ago now. So let's be clear. These companies say they're not keeping your data and all this, that, and the other. But, you know, what this xAI thing raises into question is, one, are they even capable of, you know, treating data? Do they have the best intentions when it comes to data? Do they have the technical ability to maintain data? And then secondly is just purely the trust aspect. Like, do we trust these companies to not be storing our data? Because there could be another Cambridge Analytica thing where it turns around and it's like, oh, yeah, sorry, we have been storing all of your conversations and learning off it and stuff like that. So at the end of the day, they're so bad at hiding or storing data, it will probably come out in the public domain anyway. So not too sure.
Yeah. speaking of have a company who has a lot of data, Google,
Google indeed.
and they
It's
came out with their new model and a great name for it.
well, I'm sorry to break it to you. It's not Nano Banana. Like that was the code word. I'm looking for it, by the way, guys. Let's look at Gemini 2.5 flash image.
So everybody's talking about Google's Nano Banana, and it's apparently it's not even officially called this, but that was their internal name, and now we are going with it because Nano Banana is much better than whatever this is. Gemini 2.5 flash image. No, thank you. Nano Banana is much better.
Yeah.
So this is an image model, and it's apparently very capable, and it can do like really cool edits. And the point, like the main selling point here is, at least from what I've seen, is it can uh, remember faces really, really well. So you can give it your picture and ask it to create a new picture of you, like in a new environment, completely in a new style, and it still retains the your facial features.
I think it's just in general, it's just good at maintaining the aspects of the image that you don't want to edit. Then you might have seen these images or these videos of people saying, uploading an image and saying, don't change anything about this image, and then doing that about 100 times, and you slowly see this person like turn into a slug. So even when you ask it to not change the image, it still does. But as you can see here with the guy with the red t-shirt and the black t-shirt, it hasn't changed anything about his face. You know, arguably they are pretty identical.
Exactly, and this goes hand in hand with the VO3, the video model, because people use it to create videos of like the same person with multiple shots, multiple angles, and create like really cool shots with it. But let's talk about this other use case. So this is like truly bananas. Is it how you say it? This is truly bananas. Like imagine banana. Okay. So this is truly banana. You can draw. I need to like get this right so we can create like a nice short out of it. That's why I'm like trying to get it right. So this is really banana. Imagine you could draw a line or an arrow on a map, on Google Map, and then ask it to show you that place that from that perspective and in an image. And Google just did this with Nano Banana. So as you see in the examples, you can draw an arrow and it will tell you what it would look like if you would have a camera there. That is crazy.
So it's not only understanding the context of the image and the question. So this person is uploading an image. It's not uploading any text or instruction. They're uploading an image with essentially the instructions in it. And you could assume so much from this, by the way. It's just
no, you can. You should ask it, by the way. So you say, what does the red arrow see?
Oh, okay. There we go.
Yeah, what does the red arrow see? And it will show you. And this goes into a discussion we had a few weeks ago with what that procedural generational, that model that could create like video game type of environments, right? That you could walk in. And now we have that with Google Maps. And at that time, I said like, I'm really excited for this existing in Google Maps. Now imagine if we can drop anywhere in a very like it will look like Google Earth eventually, but much more detailed, much more detailed, like 4K quality exploring Earth. That is insane to me, and potentially even play games in it. And we are getting there step by steps by these like different models. But yeah, I think we are still a few years away from like the real time gameplay, but it's really cool to me.
Yeah. The other thing is, and you mentioned it briefly, is that it's really good at just maintaining. I saw it up here or maybe down here. It's good at maintaining like the style of something. So you can see this person here. It's a bit grainy, kind of like 1990s. This one's a bit more modern, but it's matching the style and the aesthetic of where you're what you're asking.
Yeah.
Some great use cases actually is let's try and find it in this Matt Berman video, is to restore photos.
Oh yeah.
Colorize old black and white photos and things like
Yeah.
that, and it does a fantastic job. Maybe it's
That's a good idea. My parents didn't have a wedding video. They have photos, but they don't have a video. Maybe I
So,
can make a video for them.
so this is an interesting one as well, and this is why we talk about it being a Photoshop killer. Like this prompt is asking to highlight this building, and so it's taken it upon itself to make this blue glow. Maybe the prompt was about blue glow highlight, but then also giving you information here. Now you'll see, I don't know what this is, but I do believe this is not correct, or that there's some text here that's particularly bad at. But you're able to edit photos. This is another example as well. You're able to edit photos and as we said earlier, maintain the majority of the image. And
that's insane. Can you please go back to the highlights? And my brain keeps going into creating this duplicate of Earth that is like highly detailed and highly interactive without the need of objects. So imagine this is right now is an image, and we know we are capable of making videos. So soon maybe we will interact with videos in the way that we would interact with Google Earth. Like imagine you could like touch your screen and tell it to highlight a building and teach you something about it. And essentially like every frame will become a generative frame. Nothing will be
it's all fresh, it's all new. There's no pre-configured way of interacting with these tools. It's all on the fly. Interesting as well, again, just this idea of maintaining that giving it a white jacket to put on this guy in this image, and you wouldn't know. He's maintained his t-shirt and all this sort of stuff. So it's just, and this is it, maintaining the styles, the classic Muhammad Ali, make it into a Simpsons thing. This is a restorative thing, so just make the colors punch as well. Just maintaining what it's, and this is fantastic. The way to use it, and I can't show you right now, but the way to use it is if you go on to Gemini or AI Studio, you don't necessarily choose the model. It's not a model. It's built into Gemini 2.5 Flash, and you choose image as your kind of output. You can select from a list of outputs. Maybe I can get it up for you. Maybe I could be.
It's getting really good. Like image generation.
Oh, I am logged in.
Really good.
I am logged in. I can show
By
you
the way,
this.
we have quite a lot of more viewers. We have 73 people from Twitter. Hello, everybody again. Like, thank you so much for being with us. Drop a comment, by the way.
So here, it's literally, this is it. This is Nano Banana. So now we can describe an image. I wasn't having much, what did I say? It's not even in my list. Oh, because it was on my other account. But Flash image, Nano Banana. There you go. So
can we do a Google Map test right now? Just a quick one.
What do you want to do?
So
tell me your prompt, baby.
Go to Google Maps, maybe somewhere that somewhere in London, and just take a screenshot, add an arrow. Do you have Screenshot X, by the way?
I'm not on this computer, unfortunately. So we're in London. Here we go.
Somewhere that we both know, but somewhere that is not.
Probably Tower Bridge. Here we go, Tower Bridge.
I'm including myself as if I'm from London. Not
so we're in Tower Bridge
once.
Yeah, you're an expert. Well, you were around here. You were around.
I spent like a few days.
Anyway, so we're at Tower Bridge. Should we take a screenshot and see what it can come up with?
Yeah, and we need an arrow. Apparently, we need to add an arrow and say, what does this arrow see?
We can do that. screenshot. There we go. Boom, boom, boom.
This is interesting. I like doing this, and
Here
even
we
if
go.
yeah, I,
Let's do this. See if we can get St. Paul's Cathedral in there, maybe.
by the way, we don't see the screenshot editing in the live,
Okay.
but that's fine. That's fine as long as we
Super.
will see the final result. So Sam is right now trying to create a screenshot with an arrow, and
So here it is. I've uploaded a
pasting-
screenshot. You can see
Yeah,
the arrow there
yeah,
pointing
that's,
at Tower Bridge.
but that's an easy one. But anyway, so
Show
let's say,
me. What did we say? Show me
what does this arrow see? That
what
was the prompt.
does the red arrow see? This is the thing. I tried this morning because I was trying to design a tattoo, but it was just failing. So let's see if we
Design a
actually
tattoo with AI. That's
Yeah.
bold.
Yeah.
That, okay.
Definitely selected that. Okay, here we go. Let's be maybe we're just taking his prompt too direct. Generate an image of what the arrow sees. Here we go.
Yeah.
The thing I like about Flash as well as an image generation, it's in the name. It's very fast at creating images. I mean, that is probably, and I can tell you, this is probably more
I'm not
like
from
where,
London. Yeah,
it's probably more like where that is. These houses is around Rotherhithe and Wapping. That's what kind. It's not, but there you go.
That's interesting. What are we getting wrong? Can you check the tweet very quickly?
I think this is the thing about, people sharing their experiences. They're very choice with their
yeah, I agree. It's
they're saying draw what the arrow sees here in the Eiffel Tower. They probably tried this a few times and didn't get a good result. So maybe we just switch,
because what they are getting
that?
is significantly better. Yes, that would be great. I mean, the Eiffel Tower also in that example wasn't great, but I mean,
let's see. You can see my screen, right? Generate.
yes, the position that we are showing is very easy. Like I was about to say, let's go harder at it, but
I mean, this is the Millennium Bridge. No, it's still not. There's St. Paul's. So it's not quite there.
Yeah, it's hallucinating.
This is interesting, though. It's generating a little watermark, so it's AI. I mean, that's easy to take out. Ironically, you probably take it out with AI. But not quite working for us. But, this is AI. This is how it works. This is, unfortunately, what you get sometimes. So,
yeah.
Some more playing is necessary, I think.
But it's a good start. Like it has. I mean, I had just a lot of hopes. I thought it would be like very exact, but
let's go into the main, well, not main topic, don't get me wrong, but like the big topic of what we're talking about AI being in a bubble. Now, you shared an CNBC article here.
Yes.
I will get it on the screen so you can talk us through it. Sam Altman.
So Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI, thinks that AI might be very. What does he say? Like, I don't want to quote the exact title because I don't think the title is very honest. It's very clickbaity. The actual thing is Sam Altman believes that investors are overexcited about AI, but at the same time, AI is the most important thing in a long time. And when we say like overexcited, it means that a lot of investors are putting a lot of money in AI. And Sam Altman used the B word, bubble, which is pretty crazy thinking of like he has the most amount to lose in this case, right? And he uses the bubble word saying that AI might be a bubble. And this is what we all think, because there is a huge amount of money poured into AI, and we don't see a lot of return except for Nvidia. We can like shortly talk about this a little bit, but OpenAI, they are going to make 20 billion this year, but that is like the money, that the revenue, but that's not profit. They are actually losing money. So they are making 20 billions, but we don't know how much. I don't know exactly how much they are losing. Their margins are like negative. They are not making any money. Who is making money? If you could also show that Nvidia one, I mean, it doesn't really matter. Just the point is, yeah, that's great. Thank you. Nvidia is making tons of money, mostly from data centers. So they are making $46.7 billion
Can
just
we
from.
can we break this down as a simpleton like me? I'm struggling to follow this. So
Okay, so this is like, this chart shows how much money a company is making and what is making how much money. So
so
data
is this
center.
time across here? Is this time? This is
No,
beginning of the year, end of year?
this is sector. So data center, on the very left, we have just data centers all together. All right. And if we go to the all right, we see the net profit. So from data centers and gaming and everything else together, the net profit is 26 billion, right?
Yeah.
And 41 billion of, $40 billion were from data centers, and the end like net profit of the 46 is 26. So
So
they
this
have like,
includes obviously
so the black is the
total
total.
revenue. Yeah.
No, the black is the total, right? And the data center on the very left is just data center. And then we have, this is very funny, gaming being 4.2 billion. It's like
I wonder
peanuts.
what that means.
It's
Does
like
that mean because like is that just their gaming specific? Because GPUs, I'm just sorry, I'm mixing my words, but the GPUs, for example, are used for AI, yet they are primarily used for gaming. So how are they?
No, we have like gaming GPUs and like H100, H200, like the
Okay.
data center GPUs, and they are building these data centers themselves, but also selling a lot of these GPUs to these companies. Yes, there is a very like small part of like the gaming GPUs being used for AI, but that, I would say, it's so insignificant in comparison to these big numbers, because that's the point. Like companies like OpenAI, Microsoft, companies like Google, I think also Google and Facebook. A lot of these companies are buying all of these like data centers, like these GPUs from NVIDIA, and they are roughly responsible for, I think, like 50% of their profit. That is crazy, and they are all losing money. So the companies who are making the AI, they are buying hardware from NVIDIA. They themselves are losing money, but NVIDIA is making a lot of money with a lot of like margin. So that's essentially it. And that's why we say AI might be, this is one of the reasons, not the only, but one of the reasons AI might be a bubble, because the hardware company, the company that sells the shovel for the gold mine, they are making the money, and the people who are like buying the shovels to get to the gold mine, we see they are losing money, with OpenAI losing, still not making money, with $20 billion of profit, still losing money. And the point is, where will this stop? Will we get to a point where, okay, we bought enough GPUs, now we are going to make money? Well, there are data showing that that's not the case, because the GPUs that they buy, they depreciate, they break down, and after a few years they are not as fast, and other better GPUs are out there. So it seems like NVIDIA will keep selling GPUs, and these companies will have to keep buying them. But if they don't get to a point where they return the money to the investors, like, in terms of profit, it might pop as a bubble, because we have to see for how long will investors just take in these losses, just pouring money into, at the end, to Nvidia, directly or indirectly, and not seeing any profit. So AI might be a bubble.
Mm. I sort of, when I saw this, I thought about it basically. I mean, then investors are taking punts. They are taking punts on what they think is going to succeed. And AI is obviously all the hype, and even Apple have been slapped on the wrist for not being part of this hype train, and it shows a lack of confidence, blah, 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 from stakeholders. I translated this as potentially like a lack of serious education for these investors, that they are just throwing their money at anything AI, just again in the hope that it pans out for them.
Yes.
So maybe what Sam is saying here is that they are uneducated with what they're throwing their money at, and not really, maybe they're putting the money in the wrong areas. Maybe Sam is saying that where they should be putting their money, they shouldn't be putting it in these dumb, I don't know, photo editing apps or something like that, or something. Maybe he's just seeing that they're putting their money anywhere and not really thinking about it. Don't know. I don't know.
And at the end of the day, it's really easy to see Nvidia being a winner, because open source, man, a lot of these like AI tools, we've talked about this, they are getting really like so much better every day, but at the same time the open source versions are catching up really fast. And we might have a day where just on your like gaming GPU or on your Apple computer, we can already run some models, but maybe we will be able to run even better models at no cost to us. And then where is OpenAI in that picture? Why would I pay OpenAI if I can just run an open source model? I don't know. There is software around it. There are like walls that these companies are trying to build. OpenAI is releasing a tons of new tools, and they are trying to build these walls around like the this ecosystem that they are building. So keep the users in, and we keep paying them the money, and someday they become profitable, but that day might not come.
Exactly. But it's interesting. It's just an interesting way to phrase it, isn't it, from Sam, like saying we're simultaneously in a bubble, but also this is very, very important. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I sort of do feel like we are in a tremendous bubble, and I'm hyped for it. Like, some people hate it.
You're hyped for a bubble?
I'm hyped for a bubble. I'm just enjoying the moment, baby. I'm enjoying the journey,
You have your popcorn waiting for the bubble to pop?
Not necessarily, but I'm just enjoying the hype circle that we're in, and if it doesn't last forever, it doesn't last forever. At least we enjoyed the journey.
Yeah. Well, I've been thinking about this. I don't know which one is worse, AI being a bubble or not being a bubble. Like, if it's not a bubble, and as if it's per these like CEOs of AI companies, we will all lose our jobs. That's terrible, right? If it's not a bubble and it's going to be so great that we'll erase every job, essentially, that's bad. But if it's a bubble, I don't know, a huge part of the economy is just poof, it's gone. Like, a lot of people lose a lot of money, and I think a lot of things will go downhill, like the dot-com bubble, but eventually it will recover, it will mature.
Do you think we will be affected by the burst of this bubble? Like, I don't mean like, obviously we'd have nothing to talk about on this podcast if it did have it. I'm talking about us as a society. Do you think we would feel the effects of it?
Yeah, I think there is a lot of I don't know. I'm not good like enough with economy to know how will that like the down if it turns out to be a bubble, a lot of these like S&P 500 companies will lose a lot of money, will lose some of our investment that we have, and I don't know how it will affect the rest of the economy. but I'm pretty sure we will feel it. There will be a lot of layoffs when people have less money. The companies will have less money. There will be more layoffs, but the technology will eventually, catch up to the, like, it will be on the, it will try to mature. It won't be this hype forever, because right now, as we just saw with the Nano banana, like the examples that I've been seeing on social media, they've been crazy, but we just tested it, and it's not, the most reliable thing, and it's normal. It's where the actual state of things are. And I think these companies that are creating so much anxiety for people, that's why I wouldn't mind if it were a bubble, because man, they are creating anxiety for everyone. Everyone is like, am I going to lose my job? And then you go to the tool and you see it's bad. You see the code. I showed you the code that my AI was like creating, and it's like my developer would give it like 3 out of 10.
3 out of 10. I thought you were going to say 3 out of 5 then, but no, it got worse.
No, 3 out of 10.
The more you spoke, it got worse. Yeah. And, just, you're going to hear me say this over and over again, which is ironic, because everything is cyclical. And it's like we get excited about something new. We try it, we use it. It's the rule, not the exception. Is that the phrase? I know the phrase exception, not the rule, but it maybe we are surprised at the fact that we get super hyped about something. Everyone AI's all of the things. Maybe this is just what humans are designed to do. And like, rather than criticize it or see it as a fault, it's like this is what we do. We get excited about things and we try them out, and we try and find the place in all of this. And I always talk about this, the color TV. When color first came out, color TV, I say we, the society was like, I remember it well.
Yeah, me too. I remember.
Back in the 1920s or whatever. No, 1969, wasn't it? 1969.
Oh,
People were like, why do we need color? Why do we need? It's fine. Black and white is fine. This is society, people. This is how you think that's crazy because you know no different. But that was you who if you disagree or against AI or whatever, you would have been one of those people who says, why do we need color TV? And arguably we don't need color TV, but it then took films to be very experimental and artistic and creative with color, because you look at Wizard of Oz as an example, using color in a very creative way, where right in the beginning everyone was just making everything in color. And while that seems crazy now, at the time, I bet there were people saying they're just making it color for no reason. They're just using it for no reason. And then we start to see creative implementation of color. And again, this just sounds bonkers talking about this, because we're talking about a very antiquated technology and it doesn't quite translate. But these are the same conversations that were happening. And it's in human nature, just to AI all the things, or to current technology all the things. Everyone wanted an app. I'm going on a rant now. You can tell I'm getting animated. Everyone wants an app in the App Store. Everyone's like, oh, we need an app. We need an app. And it's like, no, you don't. Who's going to download your friggin' stupid, I don't know, thing, like restaurants? Who's going to download an app specifically for your cafe or your restaurant, just so they can see the menu and order their friggin' morning coffee when they could easily just walk up? We don't need apps for everything. Same thing. It's just cyclical. It's just what we do. So get over it.
Well, the issue is it's the hype moment that doesn't die, and all I want is like real world implementations, like real world use,
and the ship will steady, and we'll find it. Apps have now found their place. They don't need to be app stored for everything, but there are excuses where there are uses where you need hardware acceleration. You need the accelerometer on your phone, or the cameras or something like that. That deserves an app. Or you need private and whatever. You want to use the secure storage. That deserves an app, not a menu, not a friggin' menu for your pub chain or whatever it is. So it will find its place, and we'll discover, and AI will find its place. Just let people AI all the things and be done with it, just because you don't like it. I don't know. We're obviously very biased, but, well, especially I am. I think this has turned me into more of an not appreciator, but just a more understanding in terms of the human psychology of it all, of like, rather than getting upset about something or being so anti something or for something, just everyone's just unique. Everything is different, and a lot of things are very cyclical. So it's just don't get too upset about it. Anyway, that's my TED talk.
Yeah.
Anything to add?
No, not really. I agree with pretty much everything. It's just the start of it, and we'll see how it will settle. And we are here, it's a journey.
It's a journey, exactly. We should talk about quickly the most awkward, as they all are, awkward live stream of all time for GPT-realtime, which is quite a cool tool, essentially, having a conversation with an AI and it talking back to you in a tone, in a accent, in a language that you ask it to. The tonality, the intonation, just absolutely spot on. We've already seen this in the app, but now it's available to developers to utilize in their app in the GPT-realtime API. And go on then. What's that?
Prepare for a lot more spam calls.
Well, I mean, they used, and we see this a lot, and it's where chatbots actually first really appeared, even before AI. It was just a tree thing of customer support and things like that. So, yeah, absolutely, like seeing influx here, and it's great to that ChatGPT is on it. Arguably, and I have seen comments about the fact that 11 Labs is by far and away better. This was a really interesting part of the conversation where he uploaded a picture of his daughter, kind of, playing on a unicorn and looking out the window. And he asked it am I a bad parent in this photo? And I love these demonstrations. Google did this where they just, who is following me? That's not someone following you. That's your shadow. Using these obscure demonstrations to kind of really test the logic and understanding of these models. And ultimately it said, no, you're not a bad parent. You're just observant, but you might want to reconsider it stood on this unicorn. It could be a bit of a safety hazard, but you're not a bad parent.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Very, very interesting.
So just to understand, we already have the voice mode in ChatGPT, and now developers can have essentially the same tool that they can use in their own apps. This is like great news for everybody.
And this is T-Mobile. They've been working on it as a pre-release, and there's a whole shopping experience where you can speak to it, and voice is becoming more. You remember when Siri first came out, and people were very like, I'm not talking to this thing, and being very shy about their voice. I still think we should be relatively shy, but no one wants to hear you chat to your ChatGPT on the bus. Do you know what I mean? Like, no one wants to hear.
I do it in the supermarket, but very quietly,
quietly. There's a lot of noise around you.
Tell me how I can make noodles.
Situationally, we are getting more comfortable. So in this situation, her daughter has just dropped her phone in the water, and she's frantically asking T-Mobile, I need a cheap phone. Does it work under my plan? And does it have satellite, for emergencies? Does it have satellite functionality? And the AI is able to understand that and walk through that process. So using that natural language where you don't have to type, and obviously you're very frantic, the voice API or the real-time, API was able to be implemented into the T-Mobile app. So yeah, voice is becoming far, far more popular than it maybe once was. And I think this is a welcome addition, but arguably we do already have some decent solutions out there. And this is just OpenAI catching up and joining the party, as it were, as opposed to anything particularly groundbreaking. It was interesting that the intonation, tell me in an excited way, now tell me in a sad way. tell me in this way, whatever. Then I think they asked it to write a poem and change from English to Spanish to Japanese about a particular thing, situation, or whatever. So yeah, those sorts of things are quite nice.
But this is like great news in general. I think this goes to the direction of like the same conversation. These tools will mature, and this is just very early. Like these are for developers, right? This live was for developers, and the first thing that I can think of, like I have a lot of Telegram groups that are like with multiple people with multiple like languages. And when somebody sends a voice message, imagine if you like the app would use the API from one of these tools to translate and use your own voice, clone your voice, and then translate it to a different language. And the listener could use any of the languages. That would be, for example, something really cool. I even think like building something like this for Telegram as a Telegram bot would be relatively easy using, because I already have a Telegram bot using ChatGPT image recognition. Yeah, just you said, yeah.
Honor, I think that's the phone word. Maybe it's Oppo, I don't know, but they released a folding phone just the other day, and it has a feature, or maybe it's the Pixel. I don't know. I think it's the Pixel actually, Pixel Fold, and that has a feature where you can have a conversation with someone, and if they're in a different language, it will talk to you in your language, and then when you respond, it will respond to them in their language. Standard stuff. What the Pixel will do is actually try and match your voice in real time, match the sound of your voice. And it's a bit hit or miss, as most of this stuff actually is.
Yeah.
It's a bit hit or miss, but it's an interesting technology. And we are starting to see, I don't know what model they're using. It's Google, probably
Yes.
Gemini, you know.
And they said they need 2 seconds of your voice to clone it.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. Wild. That's a bit scary.
Yeah, that's really wild. Probably doesn't match the tonality and the pace of your language, you know, whatever. Or maybe that's a separate algorithm that runs post training that actually starts to, well, it just listens to you in real time and tries to replicate that pace of conversation in real time.
Yeah.
So
we'll see where this go.
Yeah.
I actually, this made me think of like an example, like an analogy. Not analogy, it's an example. So, you know, we've had Tesla full self-driving for quite a while now, but it hasn't been a full self-driving, you know, even yet we don't have it. And Elon Musk has been, you know, promising, and whenever they ask him, it's like, well, yeah, we have the last like 5%, the long tail of the edge cases. And I feel like with a lot of these AI tools, we are still not fixing that last 10%, last 5%. So if it's with voice, like the human interaction still is very clearly human, because of like there are very subtle changes and pauses and whatever if it's voice. With images, we can still pretty like reliably recognize AI images, especially if we take a good look. Same with video, even though those two, like video and images, are getting insanely close. But with something like hallucination, and this is also about the example that you shared previously with the tech mobile that they showed, like with ChatGPT. Yes, it sounds good that that person on the phone as an assistant, she or he sounds good. The words they speak are very clear, and it could be any language that I want. But what if they make up a feature about a phone? And we know this is an issue. We know that these AI models still very much hallucinate, still very much the data quality that they output is still not reliable. And yes, I know there are like arguments that, well, humans are not reliable either, which is true. I'm not like saying humans are particularly reliable, but these AI tools are still not as reliable as me reading a spec sheet of, you know, a tool or like a document for coding. And we need to get that. And I think this is also what Apple feels is missing. That's why they are not, this is one of the reasons they are not truly embracing the game, because they see, yes, there are a lot of nice demos, but these are just demos. Unfortunately, they are not like fully like reliable. That's the point. They are not fully reliable yet.
Yeah. I just want to give a shout out. We are at 94 viewers.
We're getting close to 100.
If you're watching this right now and paying an awful amount of attention, give this a share, give this a retweet, get people on board, and let's try and hit 100. Even if just a couple of you do it, I'm sure we can get a few people on board.
Yes.
Text your gran, text your dad, text your dog, tell them to come and join the podcast because it's a part of it.
Use your other phone. I'm sure you all have multiple devices.
Yeah. 94 people. Cool. Okay. So we are going back to basics right now. We are going to chat about Framer.
Sure. Yeah, we have. So this is very interesting. Can we show this video with audio without getting in trouble? Framer, if you are watching, like, we love the video. I really like this video.
I don't think we can.
I think
maybe, or actually,
no legitimate company uses a website builder like Framer. It's not a serious tool. Real companies code websites by hand. Handoffs are good, actually. If a serious brand used Framer, it was probably a rogue intern. Nothing public facing. Definitely nothing critical.
Serious brands you know and ones you'll come to know already use Framer.
Mom, can I borrow your mascara?
Here you go. So,
do you know the clown meme?
I don't know the clown meme.
So I'm going to share the link. You can also open this. Like, Framer, well done. Played really well. I fucking love this like idea. Like, they are embracing this so well. They are taking, this is to me peak of like AI at this moment, like creativity. They're taking a very like well-known meme where you have like this progress, like becoming a clown by lying to yourself. So the text that goes from text 1 to text 4 is you piece by piece lying to yourself. And I'm sure there are examples of this. You lie to yourself, but you know, that's the point of it. And they took this and they created a video ad using Google's AI VO3 in one day, and it's like actually good. And it's not just me saying good, it's getting traction. A lot of people are watching it, and they are using this to show that they are there to announce that they raised 100 million in funding to take Framer to the next level. With all my, like, I have some like beef with Framer for a few things. I think this is like, this is truly great, and their marketing team is absolutely killing it.
So here's the thing.
I saw this one. This is good.
The thing is, this is where, you know, we talk about AI slop, okay? That is when someone with a terrible idea, with a half-assed attitude, comes in, types one prompt, and releases it to the world. That is by definition AI slop. What Framer have just done is demonstrate that with good writing, good idea, that's the crux of it. A good idea, you can use AI to create something that's truly impactful.
Yes.
You know, really the fact that this was AI generated is just for speed. You know, they probably had an idea and it's like, shit, we can time this really well with our launch. AI is the way to do this. You know, they didn't need AI. Arguably, they could have paid an actor to come in and just do their makeup.
Yes.
That wasn't anything groundbreaking where they had some sort of crazy special effects coming in. But it just goes to show that just because you use AI does not immediately label it as slop, right?
Exactly.
It was just a great
I agree.
idea executed.
That's my point. It's so good. And if, like, from our audience, if you are, they are typically called like Gen Z editors, or like if you are a Gen Z and have like a sense or like a good sense of humor, you know, memes, I think this is like a great moment to shine. Like genuinely speaking, like these companies, they need this type of creativity, because it matches like really good with budget. Like this is extremely low budget, it's extremely fast, and it's extremely relatable. Like people watch this and they get the meme, they are hooked. And this is like a great opportunity if we have people who are like can connect these things together. This is a new opportunity, because people at Framer, they are not going to, I know that they have a division, but not every company has people to do these things, right? I'm sure they will try to hire people who can take this internet culture and just use AI to embrace it. And this is what I really like, this internet culture moving on and like advancing and not being lost. This gets me really excited.
Yeah.
Do you know this site? Like I have
Site.
I have a question amount of like memes generated with this site that I cannot
This
share.
one. Oh, I see. No, I've never seen it before. Image flip.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, I like the fact that they've even got the makeup the same, the yellow star on the eye, the blue arch.
That's what I'm saying. Like you see it, and if you know, you know. That's the point. Like Framer knows the audience so well. I think this is Webflow dropped the ball so bad. I mean, I'm still using Webflow and everything, but man, like the social presence of Webflow is non-existent at this point.
Yeah, it's pretty dead. It's pretty dead. But I mean, I referenced Webflow's tutorials today to a friend, and saying they used to do them really, really well, because and I think the common thread here is that they never used to take themselves seriously. And Framer are doing the same. They're literally they're echoing what people say about Framers, not for serious websites, and it can't start hold up in production and this and that and whatever. And they're just saying, look, it's that classic thing of like, if we're saying it, you've got no ammunition to even attack.
Yes,
but
exactly.
All stemming from the fact that they don't take themselves seriously, and all of a sudden Webflow are taking themselves very seriously, which we know the people who work there. That they're all
they are like close friends, like amazing people. Like every time I talk to anybody from Webflow, it's been like amazing talking to them. They are amazing people, but it's about the general direction of the company. They had this like S-tier standard, like Webflow University back in 2019, 22, even 2021. It was the like absolute standard. You cannot show me any other company who had this level of production. Like they had a freelancing course that was shot completely like cinematically. It was insane, like with After Effects and animations. And people who were in those videos, they all left Webflow, which is very normal. Companies grow and people also like change job, but Webflow couldn't maintain it. That's the sad part. Couldn't maintain the structure, or didn't want to. So the people who were doing the education left. I know the person who was doing the 3D, visualization, she left, and she's now working at Linear, which is another amazing company, right? And we see Framer embracing AI and the internet culture, and they are taking the views, and they are building the next group of audience. They're building the community. And what do you think like people will use for their website? Framer more and more. Why? Because that's becoming
relatable.
more of a stand. Relatable, and people know it. And there is no that's the point. Are there many new people getting like hearing Webflow for the first time? No, there are like many more people hearing Framer for the first time. So yeah,
for sure. Let's move on.
We're at 98, and we are 2 people away from 100. So
just one of you needs to share this, and we'll do it. We'll do it. Let's talk about Claude in Chrome. Where am I?
oh yeah, this is an interesting one. So I'm still not finishing like moving to Dia, and now you're telling me Dia is dead, which by the way has turned like paid, and yeah, whatever.
It's turned paid, is it?
Yes, well, you can still use it for free, but I don't know what I did. I just asked something, and it was like asking for money. I was like, hell no, I'm not gonna pay you yet.
Oh,
I'm not convinced.
well,
not even close.
Well, I wouldn't speak too soon because this is part of the max plan. But ultimately,
Oh,
Anthropic
no.
have released a Chrome extension to give you Claude inside of Chrome, or any sort of Chromium fork for that matter. And as you can see from the video here, pops out. Not only can you ask it to do the obvious things that you expect to come from an AI browser, and if you're not involved in an AI browser, I'd probably strongly recommend it. There's enough. It's pretty good at the moment. You can obviously ask it to summarize pages, this, that, and the other, but it can also actually take control of your browser, which again, talking about Dia, that's something they've seemingly failed to bring to the equation. They spoke about it, but they've not implemented it. I use Comet, which does it. Claude now does it, which, well, I say that it's releasing it to a preview of 1,000 users. I've requested access so I can give my insights maybe next week, but we'll see. And it looks kind of cool. And I mean, we get into the boring stuff in a bit, but I'm hyped. Like, and I bet it will be necessary to have a Claude plan to use this.
And 1.3 million views on that video. That's quite crazy. And they are just giving like 1,000 users access.
Yeah. You had to, during the sign-up process, you had to give them an idea of what you're going to be building or what your job is and things like that. So I'm hoping that me as a developer might get a bit of a bump.
You are a developer influencer.
Developer influencer, which yeah, you might be seeing more of my face pretty soon with a few AI products. So I'll speak more about that later on. But yeah, so maybe, and I think that it'll be interesting to see how developers use this, specifically developers use this, because of course Claude is a very developer focused platform. That would be my one criticism, is that actually as a chat bot, Claude isn't necessarily my go-to when it comes to just chatting. I do strictly use it for, you know, would you call it STEM, like scientific research, coding, programmatic.
Do you use like the website, or do you use it like through Claude Code?
I use it through, no, I never go on the website. I have the app downloaded. I'll either use it through Warp, which by the way is I'm getting loads of referrals from Warp. People are loving it.
Can you show it on the screen, please? Like I know Warp, but
let's see if I can do
I don't use it
without showing the wrong thing. Claude. No, Warp.
So you're telling me you don't want to share your private chats publicly?
Well, no, I mean, like you won't see. I'll show you.
You know, I'm just joking about, you know, xAI just doing that.
Stop. Yeah, exactly right. I'm really bad. I bet I've shared a whole ton of stuff that should not be shared.
Yeah.
I just have no shame. So, I mean, it's a terminal window. I've got 3 terminal things here.
Okay.
And I mean, this is Claude. So if I exit out of that and whatever, I'm back into terminal here. But I can, if I go into like auto mode, and this is, I'm using light at the moment, but I can choose Claude. Can you see that? It's quite small.
Yes.
But I can choose a model here. And actually GPT-5 has been great for writing tests and just really going through a database.
And this is Warp.
And this is Warp, and I can say, and the thing is, because this is a terminal, this is clued into the operating system. So what I can tell it to open an app. I can tell it to what I really used it for is create. I didn't know how to friggin' do this, but every time before we come live, I type stream here, and this is a shortcut to close all my windows and open up the various windows that I need to create this stream. and it opens them all out in front of me and this, that, and the other. And I just said to it in plain English, create me a shortcut that whenever I type stream, it does this, 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 and this. And it just did it because, again, it's got access to the operating system and it uses Claude to do so. So, but it's also a terminal, like you might be able to see that, but I'm switching between agent.
I'm sold.
Yeah.
I'm sold.
There you go.
Say no more.
I'll give you a referral.
This is insane. Well, I know Warp, but I just never tried it. I just know it. Just know their pretty website, to be honest.
Yeah. Oh, it's a pretty website, is it?
Yeah, they have a pretty website, and I like their logo. Their logo is quite nice.
I've just put a link into. I love it. Yeah. I mean, it's. I paid for the year, you know, so I don't really know what my referrals get me, but I paid for the year.
So you can use Warp to interact with your operating system and chat with AI and do whatever you want.
Yeah, you can just chat.
Yeah, this is super. Yeah, this is interesting. This is super close to the idea of controlling everything like from just one place.
Yeah, no, exactly.
This
is what I've been saying. It's like it's as good as having Apple Intelligence on my computer, because realistically, because it has, you know, access to the computer, you can in theory tell it to write you an email. You know, I haven't done that, but you can tell it to write you an email. You know, or copy this bit of text and whatever, because it has just fundamental access to the operating system under the hood. So it's pretty cool. Anyway. What were we even talking about? Claude. Claude as a thing. So the only additional thing to if I share my screen again.
We got there. 100 viewers.
Well done. You, the audience, did this. Well, I'm seeing 95 on my screen now.
It's 99 again.
Well, actually, we've got to include YouTube. So, but yeah, the only thing to mention about the Claude here is that what they're very conscious of, and they haven't necessarily showed evidence of it, but they're talking about prompt injection. This term prompt injection, which is something we posited a few probably months ago now on the show, where you could potentially write prompts inside of the HTML of your code in order to, you know, do something with the AI agent. Now, again, I don't think they've actually spotted anything, or they're probably not going to tell you how to do it. But this is something of main concern, which is why they're throwing it out there in stages and just trying to understand it. There you go. Max plan users can join the waitlist. So you can't even join the waitlist unless you've got a max plan anyway. So this is an interesting thing. Obviously, you know, again, I use Comet, you use Dia. These are all AI browsers. Maybe they haven't thought about this. Maybe they are thinking about it and just not really putting the sort of their foot forward in terms of this is what they're concerned about or interested in or being cautious about. But it's interesting nonetheless. Maybe prompt injection is going to be the new term.
Yeah. This is quite scary and still not figured out. So don't just paste any prompts, especially not into a terminal.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I will, but
yeah, you know what it does. Well,
yeah. So far, so good. But obviously, I mean, there's this idea of only doing what you ask it to do, and it will ask you to whether it can do it and stuff like this. So far, so good for me. But yeah, as with everything, there should be just in general, just don't be dumb.
Yeah,
that should be the motto.
Don't be dumb. This is great advice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, this is amazing advice. Don't be dumb. And we are going back to prompting, right? You're prompting, like after the show, you're going to do a lot of prompting. Yeah, same. I'm writing some GSAP animations, and as I told you, like for just a few simple like animations, I have 350 lines of code, and I need to clean that up.
Yeah, and like I say, I was saying to you earlier, like, and AI is only going to get you so far. And I think that, what was the analogy that I made? It's turning from being just the person just doing everything for you to now it kind of doing the things that you want it to do, rather than like specific things like make this function do this, as opposed to that, you know, line by line sort of prompting, as opposed to just broad fix everything for me. Because I've been working on a feature on an app that I'm building at the moment, and I've been banging my head against the wall, potentially up to 3 days, just not getting anywhere with it. And you know what? I woke up one day and I was like, delete everything. Not everything, but delete this branch that I'm working on.
Delete the database.
Let's start again. And I got it done within a few hours. And I did it plus way more. I was implementing multi-factor authentication. So whilst in the first instance, I said, just do multi-factor authentication for organization, for users, for this, that, get everything, potentially even like PRD level instructions, to then, and this is all necessary. I'm never, you know, as a developer, this is something I think you come to expect. It's like, it's fine, like it's not wasted effort. And that was my motivation through this, where I was really trying to just be patient, to work through it, because at the end of it, there will be learning, and I can use that learning to do better next time. So that was the thing, keeping me patient whilst I was, you know, toying walking the line of shooting myself in the face, or, you know, keeping on going. Anyway, it was all done, and now it's even better than what I was doing before. So it was just a big learning, and I was then more well informed about how multi-factor authentication worked, to be able to instruct my AI to do specific things, as opposed to figure all of this out for me, you know.
Well, the learning that comes with like doing development with AI is amazing, and I personally I love it. Whenever I start like prompting and, you know, build stuff, I ask, what does it do? Explain along the way, and you know, figuring that out is quite nice.
I'll show you quickly. I released a short which has done pretty well, fairly well actually. Where if I open up, let me share Warp again. I'm loving this feature.
Yeah.
Warp, share. So if I open Claude, if you type model, you've got a new one here down the bottom called Opus Plan Mode. Okay. So I've got that selected, and when you go to plan mode, hopefully you can see all this. If I go into plan mode, this is going to use the big boy. This is going to use Opus 4.1 to, you know, to work hard, and this is strictly in plan mode. And I really get it to, you know, really think about what it's about to implement before then switching, or automatically switch to Sonnet when it actually comes to coding it. And one bit of advice is, because these are hybrid models, if you say think hard about this, you can do this in ChatGPT 5 as well. Think hard about this. It will turn from just a heavy duty model to a thinking, a reasoning model, and you'll see it in the logs. It will say thinking, whereas it doesn't normally do that. So if you say think hard, and I won't always do that, because obviously it's going to consume a lot more of my tokens, and not that tokens are a thing in max mode, but the point is it will consume up more of my Opus allocation. I won't always use think hard, but if I'm really kind of like, I need you to, in the first planning stage of a you know, a thing, I'll tell it to think hard. So yeah, that's my Claude advice that I found this week.
That's good to know. Like in my cursor, I just checked, I have GPT-5 Max on.
Yeah, GPT-5. So if you tell it to think, I wonder if you'll get, or think hard, I wonder if you'll get a different interface, or whether you'll get different results. But again, GPT-5 is got that automatic, what do they call it? Automatic routing, where it will try and decide whether it should go light or heavy. And this will be potentially something you incorporate into your prompt to say, look, I just need a quick result here. Do this for me.
So So because you're like you have so much more experience with this specific part, like you're a developer and you have experience with like AI coding a lot. Is it dumb from me to tell it to cut down the code? Like I see like I asked it to refactor it, but it doesn't look like clean code to me.
So
It
walk
looks like,
me through that. Walk me through that prompt. What did you say to it?
no, that's my question. Like, is it dumb to just basically say refactor it and make sure that
Yes.
you use less amount of like code? Because
Yeah.
I just did that and I had 300 lines of code and it did thinking for about 2 minutes and like implementation, everything. And it returned 350 lines of code,
Yeah.
50 more
Yes.
lines.
So yeah, I would say it's a dumb way to work in that you're not taking charge of the AI. So
Yeah.
how I would approach it, I would say, give me, look at this file and give me some ideas on how we can optimize this code. Don't tell it to, don't do anything, don't change anything. Just give me ways I can optimize this code.
Yeah.
And then it might give you sort of, a few ways you can optimize it and then choose one of those to go with. Don't just say do this, like choose one of those to go with.
Makes sense.
Or maybe there's one thing you want to dig a little bit more into and say, give me 3 more solutions on this function of how we might, optimize it. Get it to almost not gaslight, but convince itself that it hasn't looked into it well enough and
So,
say like,
yes, exactly. And but for that, they need to know what they are doing, by the way, right? Like they
yes
need
and
to know
no,
what the
because
code does.
yes and no.
So I
I mean, it
asked it,
will.
what does this code do? I
It
do that.
will do that automatically. It will say first it will give itself a task list. So first I'll need to understand what this code does. Secondly, I'll look for any maybe type errors or something like this, presumably you're not working in TypeScript, but this is just an example. It will try and understand the file to give itself context, but it's not, you might include that in the prompt. Why not? Why not include that in the prompt? But there's 2 ways to refactor. One from a kind of, again, understanding what the code does and trying to rethink how it's structured, or you could just be using an inefficient, you could be writing a for loop where really you could use map, or something like this. There are many, there are technical ways or ways to write code that will make it shorter or more efficient. So maybe that is two prompts in itself. Just say, show me some improvements we can make, maybe some antiquated coding patterns that are being used here. Show me some antiquated coding patterns that are being used here. Don't fix anything, don't do anything, just show me, and then start digging into those.
I see. So it's basically using the chat mode first, going into those details, like looking at my code. I see a lot of if else, and I'm not sure if I'm not convinced that if that's like the needed way, like quite a lot of if else for math. And like in my head, like some randomized generated animation doesn't need a tons of if else, certainly not 60 about like 60 lines of if else. It would need just math,
Is there any reason why we couldn't, like next week, like go live and just go through this code? Is there anything you're hiding, or like, could we just do a live
like
session?
for a client, this specific one, but I probably can make because I want this to be a component, and we had a cleaner, more lean version of this code for a simple version, and this is for a client. It's much more complex. So I try to fix it with like a teammate and with AI. And by the way, at the end, I will give this code to my senior developer and he will clean it up and we will make a component out of it. But for now, I'll try to do that with you.
Yeah, try that. Another
cool.
way is to scrap the code and just start from fresh, because you've now learned a lot more about the code and about the functionality of the tool. No doubt that there might be improvements you've made through this journey, And it does have a habit of leaving in old bits of code. You know, I've just had to clean them. But literally my last prompt in Claude was to like remove some functions because I added streaming to the AI, which meant we didn't need functions anymore that just returned a solution, returned an answer. So, but it had left those functions in. So I was like, can you just clean up anything to do with AI and not streaming?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's worth starting again.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Like probably it's better for me to ask it to strip down the code to like the most essential functions and objectives of those functions and what the code should do.
Yeah.
And write, maybe even ask it to write a prompt, like a prompt for it, and then I edit that prompt and create a new code.
Yeah. Yeah, get it to think about something for you rather than just go out and write the code. Like do that
Get it
planning.
to think. Yeah.
Cool. Let's wrap it up there. I've really enjoyed. We're trying a new format. We're trying to trim the fat a little bit, make the show a little bit more, you know, chatty and whatever. Still a work in progress, but let us know if you notice a difference. Let us know if you think we can improve in places. Maybe I need to just stop talking. Just let us know.
Yeah, well, it was awesome to see so many people hanging out with us. We are at 110 people. That is our peak, by the way. This is like, this is awesome.
Cool. Like, subscribe if you haven't already. And until next time, keep on vibing.
Peace out.